All right. We would call this after the accountability board meeting to order Wednesday, December 13th, 5:30 p.m. Roll call, Miss Bell.
Carol McIntosh, Joseph King,
President.
Linda Booth,
Present.
Patrick Julian, Billy Dassler,
Present.
Michael Hutchison, William Harris,
President.
Paige Russo,
Present.
Trishelle Bowling, and Frida Williams.
Present.
On this one, got 7 present. We missing this. Okay.
I'm sorry. Mr.
Harris, would you like to lead us in prayer?
Dear kind Father, we thank you for being who you are and what you are in this season of remembering why you came, and that is for the birth, for the salvation of man. Even though, Lord, we are in a season of remembrance, in a season of unity and peace, and coming together with friends and with families, there's also the burden task of this season that we hear of loved ones and friends leaving and transitioning. I ask right now for those who are here and for those who are not here who have lost loved ones to give them comfort and their families, to give them strength in their homes for the loved ones that they were lost, either through sickness or tragedy. God, we thank you for the uniting of these people with our minds, one with the business of this city. Bring us together again in the spirit of peace and unity. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Thank God. Amen.
Amen.
Before we move into public speaking, I'd like to recognize we have a new member to the board. Mayor Public, Miss Rita Williams. And we also have a new attorney for the board. I can't remember your name.
First name is Joe and the last name is Cups. I'm an
Oh, I
assistant
remember
city
that.
attorney.
Yeah. Starting off, you taking Mr. Bush's place. Before we move, well, we get around to you. Let's remove Mr. That now the board is open for public speaking. Do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak?
I would like to speak.
Okay. Orange.
Well, good evening, Ethics Board. It's a pleasure to see everyone here. I'm here because I want to speak about the position that you are looking at to hire for ombudsman. The ombudsman office is a very important office, as it states in the charter. So whomever we appoint to that position has a responsibility to be fair and impartial. I'm coming to you because of a person who has submitted the application who has come to council meetings, Mr. Doug Matthews. Mr. Doug Matthews has a problem with 4 of the council members, specifically 2 of the black ones, one being myself, where he stated that I had purchased a shirt, or I did not purchase a shirt, and he wanted myself and Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter, 2 black women, to show him a receipt along with the city attorney, for which I did. Normally, I do not give into those type of demands because, one, I feel it's racist when you ask black people to give you a copy of your receipt. Before he did that, in his statement, he said, he presumed, I would say, that I had not paid for my shirt. And in fact, I did. So as I pulled up the receipt to show him, he said he didn't want to see it. I took my iPad to him in the audience and I pointed to him and showed it to him, which he went on social media to say, as she pointed her perfectly manicured fingernail in my face. That didn't happen. It simply did not happen. It was an outright lie. It was a lie. So the person, whomever is to take this position, cannot be a liar. You cannot make false or fictitious statements, for which he did. Asking a black woman to show her receipt, well, he hasn't asked anyone else that. We had other council members who had taken checks for $1,500, for $4,750, $11,000 lawnmower. And when I showed him my receipt, he didn't want to see it, and he became argumentative with me. The person at the time who was chairing was Councilwoman Liddell Lewis. And it shows on the video, you don't have to take my words for it, it's on the video, where she had to ask him to settle down.
Do you have the time, the date?
I do have it, and I can give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
And she did have to ask him to settle down. My issue is, if you have 4 council members, which is Pfeiffer, Mays, Winfrey Carter, and myself, and we have an ombudsman, you deal with complaints against us. He has already proven he does not have the capability to be fair, nor impartial. He has demonstrated already by coming to council week after week after week, by going after certain council members, the ones he doesn't like. So I have an issue with that. I take the ombudsman's office very serious, because this is where we come to, we're supposed to be fair, impartial, that the legislative and executive branch should not weigh in on the decision, that this office is supposed to be a place where you can get issues resolved and feel like it's fair. And you cannot come to an office, which is ombudsman, and feel it's fair if he's already starting out saying, I know he has an issue with me. I have the receipt. He didn't want to see it. But to say in front of council, to try to humiliate me as if I'm taking bribes, and said it looks as if I'm representing someone, he didn't know that. He made an assumption, a false assumption. And you can't do that when you're seeking such a position as the ombudsman's office. You have to be able to exhibit that you're fair. Everyone knows about the Flint City Council, that we have our issues. We don't need an ombudsman who's going to be another problem. I do have the date and time stamp for it, where council can, where the board can actually go back to watch it. And you will see, I did go in the audience to try to show him. You will see the chair, who was Councilwoman Liddell Lewis at the time, telling him, I need you to settle down. He did not receive a warning, but he did settle down after she made several. It's on November the 14th, and it's at, oh no, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one, I apologize. It's on September the 14th, 2023. The time mark is 1 hour and 49.
September 14th.
Yes, September 14th. The time mark is at 1 hour and 49 minutes. So I would urge you, as you go through the process, I know it's been a difficult and laboring process, to please be fair and take into consideration that when someone comes before you, that we want to make sure that it's someone who can be objective, someone who isn't coming into this board already having ill feelings about 4 of the members. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else, public speaker?
Yes. Good evening. Let me start by starting off with the mayor,
Your name, sir?
Arthur Woodson. I've been following along with the Ethics and Accountability Board. It seems like you all are focused in on city council, but not the mayor. And city council has issues, true enough, but theirs is just bickering back and forth. Not, you know what, not even bickering back and forth. Let me take that back, I was wrong for saying that. Because you have 4 council members that's standing up for right. The mayor, on the other hand, lies. He lies. Let me give you an example. My lawyer for you, where he said 68 assault rifles have been confiscated. That's a lie. Because they said, tell me the information, it was only 62. So 6 of them are missing, or it was just wrong. That's a lie. Goyette, they got $700,000 for doing houses that wasn't even excavated. How do you give a company $700,000 without the houses being on the list of being excavated? These are proven facts. It's on video. Katie O'Neill stated it at our communication meeting. These are facts. This is what they said. The issue that I have, that's just like with the metal detector. A citizen should not have to go and get attorneys to fight a tyrant mayor. We filed a TRO injunction and we got it. November the 20th. November the 27th, he thumbed his nose at the order. The order stated, go back to status quo. He thumbed his nose. November the 27th, on video, it shows Trevor being stopped at the metal detector by a city police officer. And the mayor gave him the order. Councilwoman Burns, affidavit. They stopped her and said she had to deal with the mayor. She shouldn't have to deal with the mayor, especially after Trevor has showed him the order, stating that you go back to status quo. Still thumbed his nose. Moved the metal detector, but kept the postings up of gun-free zone. That's still a violation because it wasn't there prior to the order. And then last night, at the State of the City, he said, I'm unapologetic for what I do. I tried to get in touch with you, Ms. Young, because you was on the show when he said it on there too. Ethics and accountability.
What show was this that you're speaking of?
His community update, where he showed Trevor with his rifle. And to blow it up, to make it sound like he went down there with ill intentions, is wrong. He was making a statement, a protest statement, that you cannot take our rights. You can't. Period. But looking at this board, it's favoritism. It's favoritism. I'm gonna say it flat out. Y'all supposed to subpoena him a while ago. What happened to those subpoenas? What happened to y'all bringing him here? What happened to y'all bringing Clyde here? What happened to y'all investigating him? But what I saw was y'all going around trying to find every excuse not to bring him here. See, the problem that we have here in Flint, we do this personal stuff. We mix personal with business. Or I'm looking for something in return to you not investigating me. My organization needs something from you, and I'll look out for you. With this right here, this is a serious board. In order for the people to be able to have transparency and truth, this board is supposed to hold our elected officials and our public workers accountable. Ethics and accountability board, period, point blank. Friendships and everything else ceased. Councilwoman Burns and I, we got into it. That's my sister, love her to death. But I felt like her vote wasn't correct, or her position, so I said something about it. She got mad at me, cussed me out. I understood that. But she held her own, I held mine. But we still here together. That's the way this board is supposed to be. Period, point blank. Not because he's able to give my parents or whoever some money. Not because he's able to give my organization some money. You supposed to act accordingly. You was put on this board for a reason. To hold the city officials accountable. Period, point blank. I'm gonna shut up now, all right? Thank y'all very much.
Is there another public speaker? Is there another public speaker? Seeing that another public speaker, each member of the board have your time to respond to the public speaker. Is anyone going to respond? Answer?
I want to respond. I want to thank you guys for sharing the information that you guys have shared with us. And Mr. Woodson, you mentioned a video about one of our members of the board being part of a video that the mayor had. If you have the date and time, so we can review it and see, what was shared on that show. And, I need to know a little bit more about that. So if you don't mind giving us the information, I would appreciate it.
All right.
Anyone else like to respond?
Councilwoman, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead, Mr. I'll go last.
Good.
Councilwoman Marks, thank you for coming. And I heard what you said loud and clear. That doesn't escape me. I have my own opinion about some things, which I won't voice now. But just know that I see eye to eye on a lot of things in regards to that. And I am sorry that you had to go through something like that. It's embarrassing for anybody to charge anybody up on false basis of legality, on supposition without having facts. So for that, I understand. Mr. Wilson, thank you for your complaint. I just want to know if you could if there's any paperwork to go along with what you have said as well, because I want to see it in writing. I believe in having a paper trail. But I want to say thank you for coming as well and for voicing your complaint to us, rightfully so. Thank you.
Ms. McIntyre?
You can go, I'll go last. I'll be courteous to my other board members, I'll go last. Thank you.
Last time you came before us, you talked about the FOIA. Did you ever get a response on that yet?
No,
Okay.
but we just put a lawsuit in today for it.
Okay.
I remember that.
My comments are to Mr. Woodson. You indicated that I was on the mayor's show. You're talking about the Saturday morning community update show where I had to have been given information about the Flint water settlement case.
Correct.
And nothing else. I had nothing else to do with whatever his agenda was on that show. So I wanted to be clear because the insinuation or implication is that I was somehow connected with whatever this other issue is.
Yeah, you got to talking about the.
Not with me, though.
Yeah, with you. You was on there. You commented on there with him. I seen you the video.
I commented on the gun.
Yeah, the metal detectors, and he said he's unapologetic for what he's doing to keep the city hall gun-free and safe. And then that's when you commented, I understand, Mayor, something that you said. I got the timestamp.
Well, I wanted to be clear. I was on the show to update about the Flint water crisis settlement.
I called you right after that too. Right after the show, I called you. You didn't answer or return my phone call. I was going to speak to you, privately.
Understood.
Now, I understand it's a violation of citizens' rights if they cannot carry their gun. Is that correct?
In City Hall?
In City Hall.
For right now, it is.
Okay.
For right now. And they supposed to be able to take pepper spray, knives, guns, whatever, concealed weapon, for right now until we have a hearing. But for right now, they issued a TRO, order stating the fact that everything goes back to status quo. I can send you the order, and we went to court today, this morning, for a motion on contempt because they violated, and the city admitted that they violated the order. So tomorrow evening, Judge Paquel said he'll be issuing a new order by close of business tomorrow.
And we are trying to hold our leaders accountable. The problem is they're not responding to us. But that we will have to follow up on some things.
They're not
A little bit
responding,
more.
but don't you all have subpoena power?
Yeah, we kind of like working on that.
Anyone else?
Okay,
Yes.
I wanted to find out more about that FOIA information that Mr. Woodson spoke about. Mr. Broussard spoke on. Mr. Wilson does call me and tell me about all these things and what he feels about this board. I don't bring it to this board because I feel this board is unresponsive to certain people. I feel like what has happened to City Council and the Flint Community School Board has bled off into this board. This board is, we need to seriously look at what our position is and why we're here. But I also want to say to our guests, when you come with these type of complaints and concerns, the timestamp, dates, things of that nature, that's important to me because I like to look at the video. That is the point of the video. So I don't have to listen to my colleagues. I don't have to take your word for it. I can honestly do the job of this board, Ethics and Accountability Board, honestly, and compare what I see with my own eyes to the charter. Now, I do feel that when this board does not take that time, then it's gross negligence on our part. So I hold myself accountable because I am a member of this board. But I also want the public to understand that this is a democratic process and we are one vote, supposed to be anyway. And it shouldn't be no action without a board vote. We shouldn't have motion and action without a vote at this table. So I think we have to do some evaluating on our processes and how we view things. That's it. Thank you for your time and for coming and for voicing your concerns.
Anyone else? If not, I would like to thank these speakers. Today we take your concerns seriously, and I appreciate you coming towards it, and we hope you keep that process up. With that, the board we will deal with concerns of the citizens and elected officials, and we appreciate that. With that, I will move into my open remark, which will cover some of it. First, I'd like to thank everyone for showing up today. Our last meeting of the year, so we can do some of the things that we have heard spoke on today. Was it's going to be part of my open remark. But before we do that, this is the holiday. We have some little hors and stuff that presented in water and something. Everyone wants trying to get that so we can, and then I do my open remark. If anyone want to.
So they're dessert shooters by DK Sweets, and the two flavors or the two desserts are banana pudding and peach cobbler.
Oh, okay, that changes. It's not donuts. I wouldn't know donut.
Peach cobbler and banana.
I'll peach cobbler. Where's your peach cobbler? Okay.
There's been bottled water that when you come to that.
You gonna get past it to Mr. Harris?
I got you. Peach is right. No banana. I don't want you to break out.
This is small dessert forks over there. If you guys know desserts,
Let me go to it.
it should be some dessert forks. It's underneath.
I mean,
It's some over there.
I got it.
There she go. Shasta has them.
Welcome.
You got the one here on the stage. No, that was mine.
I gave it.
Oh, okay.
This is mine.
Or Shasta has the eating.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Who made this food?
DK Sweets. Here, local. She's at the farmer's market. She's a new and upcoming baker. So.
I like to support new folk, especially at the farmer's market.
Yeah, her name is Diamond. Diamond Hill is her name.
Where's their stall at?
Huh?
Where's their place at? I mean, I know it's in the farmer's market, but it's like right, is she toward
Well,
the back?
she was one of the vendors that were outside during the summer months.
Okay.
So she doesn't have an actual inside location, but.
So if you want to use her for something, how are you contact?
Like I said, I do talk
I got
with them. It's true.
And you can find her on Facebook if you're on Facebook.
Man, shut up. Hey.
So we get this every time we meet here?
You know, say, it must
I hear a motion for a new regular meeting location.
Remember,
This is Mr. King, so.
on that,
This,
Ms. Booth.
Is that Apple? Okay.
It's Apple Blue. This,
Okay, maybe it's not, I couldn't tell. I hadn't
couldn't
tried
put
it.
very far.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think this tastes like peaches and
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know.
You got peaches?
No, hers is Apple.
Okay.
Very well.
Peaches not peach, I thought she said
I
peach
will.
cobbler.
I thought so too, but I was wondering how she got the peaches in it.
Wait, is it peach or apple?
It's
It's
Apple,
apples.
I'm sorry.
Who said peach?
I said peach.
See, that's the type of bullshit.
Okay, we're gonna bring the meeting back into
It
order.
was hot.
I'm gonna do my own statement, today. There's some things that was brought up, some things that, I thought of and made notes of. What I wanna do today is, it's holiday time. And I want the board to start focusing on this. This is, focusing on holiday. I don't wanna get into too much of this stuff. And this is a good place to be, end of the year, and we can sit back and refocus on what we should be doing in 24. I wrote in some notes here. One thing I found out, and I believe we have become a board that has been driven with distraction by others, which I find is not by accident. We have let ourselves to be manipulated and to focus on the attitude and personality of others, even allowed elected officials and appointees to think it's their job to tell this board who and what to investigate and instead of concentrating on the child violation, which I think there are probably many child violations because we've been focused too much on things that we've been guided to by the process. We have allowed elected officials and appointees blatantly interfere in the application and hiring process of a new ombudsman person. We have sit back and they have mischaracterized and deframed the employee of this board, and we have not made a strong response yet to that, which I think we're talking for that, and that will be talked on later today. What I would like to do today as we meet here in a good holiday mood and not worry about what's going on in the destruction of the city. I want to be able to come back. I would like to leave here today in a good mood, knowing that coming back in the first of the year, we'd be coming back with our mindset on protecting the charter at all costs. One of the things I would like to say we should do is, I would like to start out today is leave it here and come back the first of the year like we don't know names, position, character or anything about one of them left the city. We just knew we were gonna come back with the idea that we would come back and hold everyone accountable. We don't want, and I think some of the speakers have, stretched on that. And they're right, there shouldn't be no friends, no nothing, or anything.
They killing me. I'm sorry, y'all. I got PTSD.
The bags are, yeah, they are disruptive. Our bags. Everybody bag open
Oh,
now?
I'm about to end it up.
Okay.
Yeah. But back to, let's forget that there's no face over there. Everybody's black. Coming back next year, we're gonna come back and start fresh. Whoever, wherever, whenever, we're gonna hold them accountable for the charter. We got bogged down with personality. We've been driven by, I would say, individual elected official appointees, and I get called and everything that people think that they can tell this board, or they can call when they figure that they have control of this board. And that, and I would tell each of you, nobody control me. I'm my own man, I have my own thoughts, and I'm not gonna change, but nobody gonna convince me when I think I'm right. And I hope we all do that. So, on that note, I first want to wish everybody a happy and prosperous New Year's and Christmas. And we will move on with the meeting and get to work. Next thing on the agenda is review, changes and approval of the agenda.
I would like to see added the process we're gonna go forth on in terms of selecting another ombudsperson, another candidate. We don't have that down.
Oh, okay.
We need to add that.
Okay, we'll add that in, put that number 3 on discussion.
Because everyone is aware of the decision of the one we selected, is that correct?
I don't think the public is.
The public don't know.
No.
Does that still stand?
Sorry.
In terms of the person that declined the position, that it still stand? That decision still stand?
Yeah, but we'll be, add to the agenda.
Okay, so we need to add that to the agenda.
We get into all that at once, yeah.
Mr. Chair, at some point, Mr. Harris had mentioned something about we needed to review our, either, I don't know if it was bylaws, Mr. Harris, or EAD rules, what was it?
I said we need to, we needed to review our bylaws going forward for updating them with numbers and everything else, because we don't have a shield with our members as present. If anybody were to attack one of our members, the way that our bylaws are set up, we don't have it to protect one another. And I think we need to have more protection in our bylaws. That's just me. That's what I was discussing about.
So can we add review of our bylaws to the agenda and maybe establish a bylaw review committee?
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be number 4 on discussion. Anything else?
We need to, saw him with got the information, but I think it'll be good if we It's dealing with the budget. Never mind. What I had was dealing with the budget. When we get to the budget, we deal with that.
In addition to the agenda,
Brother Chair, can you please, so that the public understands why the information wasn't disclosed about the person turning down the position or whatever the case may be, so they understand the, I guess you say secrecy?
Mhm.
yeah, well, we will get to that as we go. Right now, we on change it to the agenda. I can add that to the,
When you talk about
changing it now,
Yeah.
but no, we won't do it at this point.
Okay.
You know, I said we had, let's say, I said we had that to the agenda.
Any other changes? If not, I entertain a motion to accept the agenda for changes.
So moved.
Support.
And move and probably support it to accept the changes of the agenda with changes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed? We move to the next part on the agenda, approval of minutes from our last meeting.
So,
Is that the email in that letter, is it?
Yes, because it was, yes.
That's that anonymous letter?
No, that's his email.
That's another thing, I'm going over the minutes. Even though we voted on the agenda change, we voted to discuss,
Several things.
to discuss that, the anonymous letter that showed up to the ombudsman. We were gonna discuss that here.
oh, okay.
On
Yeah.
The one that was sent from,
To-
the
To
agenda.
Mayor's
Miss Little.
office.
The one that was sent to you, Miss
yeah, the one
Little?
that was
Mayor's
sent to the
office.
mayor's office.
From the mayor's.
Oh,
From the
okay.
mayor's office. So that'd be item 6.
And then, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Letter, responsible letter from Mr. Edwards.
That's the first one on the agenda that we're gonna be tackling.
Okay. Okay.
Right, which was,
So it says the next meeting, that would be this meeting, right?
yes.
Buzz office meeting, okay, so we need to be discussing the situation with the Buzz person's office being closed since whatever Monday this is. What's the date on this Monday, Ms. Shasta, do you know?
It is, the heat is fixed.
It's fixed now?
Yes.
Okay, so we can cross that off, good, that's handled. Okay, we'll add discussion, potential okay, so we should be discussing a relocation position for the office, it seems like, per se, this agenda, am I proper or no?
This problem is so much that, I didn't put a whole lot on that one because in the year, but if we want to discuss it,
I mean, you got it on your agenda saying that's what you're gonna do.
well, we'll still change that. I mean, if it's on the minutes, yes.
You already did the agenda change, addition to.
No, we're not doing the agenda change.
You on the minutes, right?
We was on the minutes.
So you should be doing a motion or what?
On the second. I'm taking everything that, we're correcting the minutes.
Well, you don't correct them that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chair, I move approval
Get
of
a
the
date.
minutes.
I'm sorry.
I was moving approval of the minutes. We should have it on the floor before we go into discussion of the minutes.
Second.
Yeah.
Been moving proper second to
Now discussion.
approve the
Discussion.
minutes with any correction. All in favor?
I'm at a loss here.
No, we should be in a discussion, we should be where you were before it was on the floor.
That's what you're saying.
Well, we usually talk to the before, if you remember, we discussed the minutes before voting, you're welcome to.
So this one with the,
Go
so
ahead.
this one, the anonymous letter, we should be discussing it in this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, even though we didn't put a date there, it said move to this,
And if,
to the next meeting for this one.
That'll be added to the discussion item.
and I would think that if we're approving the agenda, then this would be part of the agenda. This is what we're saying we're discussing in this meeting. Surely that substantiates as the agenda item if you put it on there, saying this is what this meeting is gonna, what the things that are gonna be discussed in this meeting, right?
But,
So
well,
if you
we have,
approve it-
I can add addenda to the agenda, because we have approved the agenda, but it can't be addenda added to it.
It can, but it's already on here, so it wouldn't be an added addendum. It's already on here. Isn't this the agenda items? I'm just trying to get a clear understanding.
It should be on the agenda, but it's not on the agenda.
So that's what I'm
he's-
trying to
yeah.
understand.
So he's saying
So-
he'll add it under discussion item.
Thank you so much. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Will we be discussing these
Yes.
things? Because it says in this meeting, whether it's an agenda item or not, is to be talked about in this meeting. So if this is not considered to be one of the agenda items, let me know, because I'm voting on agenda stuff. And I want to know before I vote. If it says this is the agenda and I say I expect to be discussing these things. Now, if that's not how it's going, then I need to know that so I can vote appropriate.
What we have, back in time, is we have voted to approve the agenda. What I said was, I can add that, because that's in a minute, as an addenda to the agenda that we've already voted on. We're voted on the agenda already.
Right.
I can add that as addenda.
Is this
That's
not-
part
is
of-
this
that's
stuff
part of
not-
discussion. Okay.
Okay, this is part of the minutes, not the agenda.
Right.
So even though it says to be discussed in this meeting, what does that mean then?
That it should have been on the
Should
agenda.
have been on there, not
So-
on there, but we're doing the correction.
Well, you didn't include this in the correction, even though you telling me you can addendum. I know you can. I'm just, like I said, so it needs to be part of the agenda, but it's not. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
I think for a process, it may be good if we switch the minutes in the agenda, because if we have tabled stuff in the minutes to be brought up in the next meeting and we approve the
And you
agenda,
already
and we
voted.
approve the agenda before we do the minutes, I think we might want to just revert. That's just me. That's just a suggestion.
I mean, that's the only way it makes sense. I mean,
To
other than
approve the
that,
minutes and then approve the agenda. That's me.
me too. That's me too, Mr. Harris. I support
No, I'm
that.
talking about going forward, Ms. King.
Yeah, what you're saying is, I take your advice into consideration, but you still have a meeting going now. So, we can do the corrections we can now, so let's move on with the meeting. Any more discussion? And no more discussion, and we vote on the approval of the minutes with, whatever concern. I will take that into consideration. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed?
don't even know what we in favor of the opposed. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I what?
The minutes.
We accepting the minutes.
Correct.
Minutes.
But are we gonna do what the minutes say we're supposed to do? That's what I need to
I think
understand.
he added
Yes.
he
Yes,
added
we-
two
yes,
more
So we are
items
want-
to the
we are gonna
agenda.
do these things.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I support it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Added two more things to the agenda.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Straight down introduction of new board members we have. Now, some, Ms. Williams, you, is there anything you would like to say to the board?
Who me? Not
Yeah.
yet. I'll
We'll get there.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, item 10, discussion. First thing on the agenda for discussion is a letter that was sent to me that I had forwarded to the rest of the board from Mr. Clyde Edward. That letter was, that I would say, was defaming an employee that this board have hired. It was full of lies. It was character assassination. And I understand that it was also forwarded to the council and the legal department. And no one elected, appointed, or anything else had the right to do those things, even think about such bad things, even things that is a lie. It is character assassination in the way you look at it. And it's up to this board. I will be making a strong statement. We're not gonna allow that when it comes to this board. The employees of this board, anyone on this board, it's my job to stand up and defend it. Whether I'm in the chair or anywhere, I'm not gonna let that happen. And it's not the first time. We had an elected official at the budget meeting. Did the same thing. Now, what's been happening to all of us, we've been getting, and it is dead on purpose. We're getting shoved into looking at all this other stuff and not looking at all this child violation. And that's why I think we need to refocus and come back next year and with a new direction. We're going at wherever it leads us. But I would open the floor up for anyone. You all see the letter. We'll discuss it and we'll come up with a decision on what we want to do with it. I see two hands up right now. Will you, Ms. McIntosh?
It was emailed to us.
Mr. Chair, can you explain or elaborate what the letter was?
Right.
Because people don't know what the content is.
I have it.
Could you
You have a copy?
Don't read
Because,
it. Don't.
excuse me, and we requested that when we're discussing complaints or letters of this nature or whatever at the board table, that we have a copy of that so that each member can look at those things in real life time while we're sitting at the table. I just want to put that on the floor and make, because we did vote on that. Let's go. Thank you, sir.
Well, I'm not, well, okay, that's,
Okay, thank you.
you. Let me explain so we won't, so the public know. This was a letter that was addressed to me.
I do have copies if you like.
Could I have a copy,
You
please?
got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I had it.
Thank you so much.
And we had a secondary one. To read. While I didn't, just ask for a copy because everyone had the information. We won't get it back, get into all that. But
I look at you, I look at office, I don't need that.
Does the public get
this, I don't know. Well, let's hold this. Let's just hold this to the board right now. And we'll discuss it and we'll let the board decide. But this is addressed to me. And transparent is what I believe in. Is while I sent it to the board, while in it, and as my open statement, people think that they can send things or they have, they can control the board. But this was sent to other people, CC to other people. And millions across the line. Just across the line where it would make me present myself in a way that I don't think as a board member that I should go there, but this is like family here. You attack my family, and you attack an individual in the family, and I have serious problem with that. Now that you all have a copy of the letter, you can read it. It's over for discussion.
Okay.
Does the public get a copy? It's just it's
Hold
open.
on, not right now, no.
Do you mind if I read this, since we are in the public forum, if we just read the letter? All right. The letter states on the letterhead, and it says, City of Flint, Michigan, Sheldon A. Neely, Mayor, Clyde D. Edwards, City Administrator. Who sent this out was the City Administrator, Mr. Clyde D. Edwards. And it says, City of Flint, Office of the City Administrator to Joseph King, Chairperson, Ethics and Accountability Board. CC, Ethics and Accountability Board. From Clyde Edwards, City Administrator, regarding the Human Relations Commission and the C.S. Mott Foundation grant. And it reads, the ombudsperson, in addition to acting as staff to the Ethics and Accountability Board, also serves as the staff for the Human Relations Commission, or HRC for short. Flint City Charter Section 3-512A. In 2020, the city accepted a grant from the C.S. Mott Foundation in the amount of $250,000 to fund staff consulting and planning costs to develop the HRC Commission, the Human Relations Commission. The original end date of the grant was October 31st, 2022. However, by that date, only $21,323.01 had been spent. An extension was requested from the C.S. Mott Foundation to extend the grant to October 31st of 2023, largely due to the resignation of the previous ombudsperson. The current ombudsperson has failed to do anything with the Human Relations Commission grant. And indeed, the Human Relations Commission has not met since June of 2022. Since June of 2022. In addition, it appears that terms of 8 of the 9 members of the Human Relations Commission have expired, and replacements or reappointments have not been named by the City Council. While City Administration intends to request an additional extension of the Mott Foundation grant for the Human Relations Commission, implementation of this grant is properly the responsibility of the ombudsperson, who has failed to do anything with the grant or indeed with the Human Relations Commission. I would encourage the EAB, or Ethics and Accountability Board, to act speedily and appoint an ombudsperson who meets, here it is, the qualifications for the position. Respectfully, Clyde D. Edwards, City Administrator.
But they have blocked everything.
And that's how it is.
They have blocked everything that she had tried to do.
Right.
And she doesn't have a P card yet.
Let's go one at a time, and I would, as I see hand, McIntyre's hand, I saw first, then I had
Okay.
Julia's hand.
I'm sorry. We spoke on this matter before. They refused to make quorum. That had nothing to do with the ombudsman's office. They couldn't make quorum. They got into a power struggle. They wouldn't show up. They wouldn't participate. Okay? She can't make them come. Secondly, I feel that this is retaliation because Ms. Shasta complained because she didn't even have water. We are still in the middle of a water crisis. This lady, I'm going to say this openly, this lady has kept this board and this office going. She has been doing 3 and 4 jobs by herself, being roadblocked when she put forth her best efforts because she's interim. Okay, we have literally allowed her to be noosed in this position and critiqued and torn down as she's being held back. It's a disgrace because did you ever get your water? They did finally get you some water. Okay, so she's still paying for her own water, and the fact that Mr. Edwards came before this board talking about how he's providing water, but it's clean on the other side of the building. We still in the middle of a water crisis. He got time for this, but he still can't get her no water. We asked for the mayor. He sent Mr. Edwards, okay? We spoke with Mr. Edwards. He assured us he was going to address this and he was going to address that, and he hasn't addressed anything that we've asked him to address. Like they said, this office and this board is still not funded. However it's going down, whoever's holding up the money, our interim buzz person still buying her own water. We had to wrestle them down to give her her legally earned pay. They was paying her less than what she was supposed to get for God knows how long. We had to fight them down to the ground to even pay this woman.
Since January of 22.
Now he got a personal critique on how she conducts herself professionally. See, this is what's wrong with Flint, period. The retaliation, okay? Because we haven't seen, that's another thing. This board, we say, and I agree with Mr. Woodson on that. We don't speak on the administration and their performance. I remember speaking on them and had board members and all this here, okay? Like they scared to say the administration is inadequate, but yet she can get ran over like roadkill back and forth, all while hustling for us, digging in her own pocket. And we sit up here petrified to even ask somebody to come before us. And I understand, I'm not going, because y'all know how I've been voting and how I've been feeling. That is why we find ourselves here. Okay? You can give all the down-home soul speeches you want, but until you man or woman up, okay, because you're going to have to take some licks. You will not sit on this board in a city that is riddled with corruption and not make some enemies. So if you scared, go to church and don't sign up for this board. Don't accept it, because this comes with some licks. Okay? We got issues in this city. And if it was an easy fix, they wouldn't need us. Now either we're going to stand up or roll over. This is just one more testament to what is wrong with this board and this office. And how dare he, and he ain't sent no water over there. But yet you're sitting on the money that's supposedly set aside to fund this office, and she can't even get water out her own budget. We adjourn. I'm done. We adjourn. We can't even get somebody water.
Julius?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we did visit this already before, and I remember she sent something to the city clerk to clarify what was going on.
I have that here also. I told you all to table it so I could have the opportunity to give the information. And this is several emails and correspondence where I asked for appointments from the city council.
Pass that on the run.
So that was addressed back then, but
No one ever.
we should have, I thought we had sent a letter to them about that,
No.
derogatory language.
We said we would, but we wanted to collect the information.
I got it, okay. We just gotta take some action on that.
Harris, okay, you through?
Yeah.
Harris?
So, I'll say this.
Got 2 more.
Yeah.
Number one, the ombudsperson does not control the grant funds for the Human Relations Commission.
Right.
They're their own commission and their own board. They control their own funds.
Yes.
But according to this letter, they have not met since June of 2022. So of course you're not going to spend any kind of funds out of the budget. But the problem that I have here is that they want to hold Ms. Little by saying it's her fault that the grant money wasn't spent, but it's not her fault when you don't have quorum to meet. That's number one. Number two, this came out when we had just closed the application fees, the applications, and start the process for the new ombudsman. So basically what Mr. Edwards did was try to already throw a monkey wrench against Ms. Little with this board and defame her character by a bunch of lies. Because it's already right here. It's in black and white what she was accused for. Now, this board several times asked Miss Little, we need you to send out an email to speak with City Council to let them know that the HRC has not been staffed. She did that, according to these emails. Then we told her we never got a response. Then when we had quorum again, we said send it through Davina. Davina sent every single council person they know. City Council has known for a long time that the HRC should have been funded. And they should have been not only funded, but they should have already had the people put in place to serve on the HRC. That's a problem that I have. Also, the other issue that I have is that this is a city administrator. He has no business interfering when it comes to an ombudsman that is controlled by this board. So not only did he attack our board by slapping us in the face, he defamed her character. Now, the other thing that I have is I'm tired of this happening, because this has happened before by city council people when we were again going forward with interviews. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. We have asked Mr. Edwards on good faith numerous times to come in. He came in one time. After that, his comment was, well, if you need anything else done, please, you have to see in an email, CC me on all emails. Miss Little would CC Mr. Edwards on when we need to speak, one time we need to speak with the financial director. We CC'd him. Didn't show up. We asked for the financial director to show up. Financial director didn't show up. They didn't send anybody from the office. It got down to the point to where finally, and I'll just be honest, I'll tell you what happened. It got to the point to where we were scheduled to have a meeting between me and Mr. King, Ms. Trishelle is the secretary, and we met with the mayor. Mr. Edwards was supposed to have been present so that Mr. Edwards could hear the directives from this board, because the board voted to meet in a meeting to deal with him. He did not show up in that meeting. Refused to show up, actually, in that meeting, because he can't stand to be confronted. We asked him to show up again, and time again, Mr. Edwards continues to disrespect the board and this board, and I'm tired of him disrespecting Mrs. Little. I don't care. She has the title of interim ombudsman. That means that she has the full rights and authority and power as the ombudsman and should be respected as so, but he does not do that. I'm tired of this.
Why haven't we subpoenaed him then? Don't act like it's on him, it's on us.
Let's go. Anyone else gonna speak?
I just want to ask, Shasta, you can't use that P card and buy water?
I don't have a.
She don't have one.
You don't have no?
She never received it.
I finally got an account established with Staples after I was without a printer cartridge for months. So I can order stuff from Staples, but you can't order water from Staples. And I don't have a P card. So most of the stuff I buy, I've been, even with some postage and.
That won't go back. They sent the
You have
information for me to sign, but it's got some other things that have to be put in place to double check it. We can get the P card.
But we have to manage the P card, is that correct?
And let's say no, and I don't wanna, because we're getting somewhere, because no money should be spent on your money to anything else unless it's board. You should not spend your money unless it comes through the board. You do so with it, so let's not, I'm not,
She shouldn't have to spend no money on that.
gonna put that back on that one. But we're back on the letter. Anyone else want to speak on this letter?
So I just want to know, like, what is our next step as far as this letter? Because it is a form of abuse. It is.
Well, I'm looking at the board for, I have what I want to do, but I'm looking at direction and stuff for this board. What you think we should do? Or what you think has to happen?
What was your suggestion, Mr. King? Mr. Chair?
Huh?
What's your suggestion, so we would know?
Let me have Ms. Boland's and so.
I'm sorry.
I'll give it to you then.
Mr. Chair, I would suggest we step back and take all of the emotion out of this situation, because this can be handled with facts. There's no need for all the emotion. It is factually inaccurate, and we can respond and correct him, and then we can address how he addressed or is addressing her. It really is not anything that's taken 30 minutes to get through when we got so much more on the agenda that we need to do. So we need to devise a response, put a draft together, and then get a response sent off to the administration. And CC the mayor, because he still answers to the mayor.
Another suggestion.
I also want to know what else did you have to have on the, for the P card in order for her to spend, to run her office?
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, you
Well, you can
can,
if
we
you want
can
to.
do it, but I won't spill the letter. But
Okay.
we can't do it. You can, if you want to answer.
I mean,
don't want
I know we asked.
But you can ask me, I can personally give you that.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no one want to see that. But let's,
But just so the board is clear, the administration is not the holdup on the P card. They sent us essentially some rules and procedures that Mr. King had concerns about. And so the ball is in our court to redact and respond to the administration. We're not waiting on them, they're waiting on us. So I just want the record to be very clear about that.
Joshua P.
That's the first time I heard.
No, it's not the first time we heard it. That day when Mr. King gave that hour speech, he said he would not be signing the P card. But as a board member, I think it was disrespectful for us to not have or be privy to the reasons why. See, that's the first problem. Because, see, this is a board. And for 2 or 3 to know the whole story, but the other 4, 5, or 6 can't know the whole story. This one, we met, see, I had no idea that Mr. Edwards was not showing up to these meetings until this very moment.
No, that's not true, because we told you in the meeting.
Okay,
we
well,
gave
my
a report.
response
We told
is this. Well, I thought y'all had squashed it, because my response is always if they won't show up when you're requesting them to let's subpoena. But see, this board can't never get a vote to subpoena nobody, because see, that would take some heart. Okay, so that's how you get shucked and jived around. That's why we always find ourselves here. We ain't got to pretend like we need no bylaws and we don't understand. The problem is, this letter that Ms. Trishelle is speaking of is the same letter we always send them. And then they act like they're going to cooperate, which they did give us the P card. But when you give us a P card that we can't spend because you got all these strings tied to it, guess what it equals? This woman's still spending her own money. Okay? So that's why when we get into this board has so much power speeches, my head be about to pop off. Okay? We can't even give out bottled water. You have no power in the middle of a water crisis. So, and people saying don't spend that kind of time on it, but see, you probably ain't thirsty on your job for 8 hours or have to bring bottled water. We got a lot of issues, and until this board stands up, we're getting nowhere, and yes, we're being bullied. And we need to bring the issues to this board, because whether we have emotions or not, we have a right to know what's going on in our office and with our board. Thank you.
okay, let me move. So, the one reason that we don't get any move because we try tomorrow. We start on one thing, we go into 10 other things, into the same thing. If we just move with what we have discussed and get that out of the way, we can get to all these other things and we can come up with a solution for them.
Okay,
So,
let's go.
as we get here, we on a letter, and which we need to come up with a solution, but we got so many other things that we want to talk about with that. Let's get this out of the way, and come up with just a letter. Now, I asked for direction. I didn't want to just go out there and without the board, because it was addressed to me as chairman of the board there, but I think it's something that's concerning the board. Now, I heard a couple suggestions how to take care of this. And another suggestion.
I'm sorry, my name is Angela Lotz, and I came in, they told me it was a public meeting. I want to make sure I'm not overstepping myself for coming. It is a public
Yeah,
meeting?
no, well, I mean, you're not, public not.
Okay.
You have to sit in there.
Public comment,
Discussion.
public comment section.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not
Okay.
overstepping.
You get it. I thought it was a strong letter to dispute these things and what that letter could consist of. And I wanted the board to have input. I don't have a problem with presenting it, but I can present it in my way, which is going to be probably not in a language that would be accepted. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'd like to know what the board thinks before I do it. And I'm looking for suggestions and direction this board thinks it should be. And then we'll close that down and go to another one, and that's what we do, whatever we decide here in the next few minutes what we can do.
I think a letter should be drafted to Mr. Clyde Edwards to address how he responded in that letter regarding Mrs. Little. And I think he also should be required to meet with you and Miss Little to explain why he felt that way. I mean, I think it need to be a face-to-face encounter at this point. Make him accountable. Well, then you subpoena him if he doesn't show up.
And that's all I have with this, is he sent that to the council instead of discuss public.
Speaking of this.
I want a public apology.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's
A
what I
meeting.
want.
Yeah.
No. Public apology.
Oh, I got
Before
you.
city
I got
council
you.
and everybody.
He's sitting that
Okay.
out, and that's what I want.
Okay.
And I don't want anything less than that till he come out
And he needs to come before the entire board, not just one of the entire, apologize to her before the entire board, and this board.
She's right. He needs to apologize, number one, to us. He needs to apologize, number two, because now he's lied to City Hall. Not City Hall to council. He needs to apologize there. He needs to apologize to Ms. Little directly. He needs to apologize to you directly. And I'm sorry. Any other job that I would have been on, somebody like this on the director level would have been terminated and fired. I want, in that letter, yeah, either a strong reprimand or his removal from office needs to happen. Because he interfered, and this is just me, but he interfered in our process in trying to find, and I'm buzzing. This is inflammatory.
And she couldn't even get an interview. Okay.
And at no point he should address her. That's our job.
Right.
At no point he should be saying anything to her, whether it's oral
This was
or
not sent
verbal.
to her. He did not address her. So
Well,
let's keep it
I
factually
mean,
accurate. That's
okay,
all.
well, it's still inappropriate
Okay,
for
but,
him
you
to
know,
address.
Wait,
It wasn't public.
wait,
It wasn't
wait.
CC to City Council.
That's even
Let
worse.
the chair chair the
Let's let
meeting.
it talk over each other.
Let the chair chair the meeting.
Let's stay on it, please.
That's even worse if he didn't send a letter to her.
No, well,
It's two-faced.
Mr. Chair.
problem with this one, I set this out, and I think his idea was it wasn't gonna go, I was gonna take it and hide it. So
Okay.
that's why we have it here today. This didn't happen. So, okay.
I just want the record to be accurate. I'm looking at the email. I don't see where he CC'd city council members. The only CC on here is to William Kemp, who's the city attorney. Other than that, he sent it to you and he sent it to me. We turned around and sent it to all of the board members.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
how it happened. So again, there was no communication directly to the ombudsman. It was just about the ombudsman. So
So,
just
did I mistake that the council mentioned something about it, so how?
well, I'm looking at the email. So unless he blind copied,
Well,
I don't
because
know.
the email did not come to an email address of mine. I mean, it's one that said it that I can't get into. So I had and that's what got me, and I understand some, but I can't even get into that email that he sent. And that brought a lot of anger. I don't know whether it's on purpose. But after thinking about it, probably not been on purpose. But I take the advice that we would put together a letter addressing what we discuss here. And we would make sure that the board of advice and they will see that letter, check your email before we send it out.
Who's gonna do the letter?
When?
When?
Who?
Me and you.
You and I? All right.
And you're gonna include your the expectations.
Yeah.
Public apology.
Once y'all draft that letter, can the board see it before you send it out?
That's what I say. I'm going to, when we get the letter draft, we're gonna send it to the board. Let everybody, we email you, and everybody get a chance to see it.
All right.
And you can put your input in and we would send it in. Yeah.
I'd also like to question, once we send this letter, if we don't get the response that we desire, because we've been given the runaround on these matters on more than one occasion, 2 occasions, 3 occasions, 4 occasions, 5 occasions, okay? So once we get this runaround, which I'm hoping that they do something different, but I'm gonna look at the past and say, once we get this runaround, what is your next step, Mr. Chair? How many times are we gonna send these letters out and beg for mercy and beg for people to come up and show this board and this office some respect?
Well, this board has made a decision, and I will send a letter out, and if I don't get a response, then I will let the board know. It's up to the board. It's not a dictatorship. I trust this board opinion.
I understand all that.
And each one of you all.
We're at the board time now. I'm asking what's the next, Mr. King?
Yeah.
What is your, I know all that you saying, okay? That's not the argument. I asked you a simple question. If you don't get the appropriate response, what is this board and this office's next move? And we're here together as a board, so we can discuss this now.
Then when that happens, the board will make that decision.
Well,
And that's why we
I
so
was
slow
ready.
and we don't get nothing done. See, this is the problem.
Well, I'm
we
sorry.
need some clarity on what is the ask. What is the board decision on what the ask is that, because again, what I want to do is address what's inaccurate, and so the record can be clear. What is the board? Because I need to know what y'all are asking.
Well, this gentleman said something about an apology.
Apology.
So that must have been one of the asks.
Apology.
He
to
gave
who?
a whole statement. Tell her what you said, because you gave a whole speech, and she finna make a letter, and she don't know what the ask is of the board.
Right.
So I don't know what the letter was gonna be about. See, this is what the problems that we have.
So my suggestion,
In the form of a motion.
Go ahead. Go, Nelson.
just to explain what I was saying, was that an apology needs to be made before the board. Apology also needs to be, a personal apology also needs to be done to,
Motion.
Mr. Little.
oh no, she just asked me to share what I was saying, but
Same thing you saying,
That
I move.
Oh, thank you, sorry. I move that, that Mr. Edwards makes a public apology before this board. That he also makes a public apology to Ms. Little for his inflammatory comments in this email in regards to her. And I also move that he makes a public apology to City Council, because this information was discussed at a council meeting. And for clarity purposes, the apology just needs to be made all the way around to every single person individually, not at one time.
Motion on the floor, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, and then discussion.
So in discussion, my question is, we're asking him for a public apology. The letter was not a public letter, number one.
But
So,
she didn't
let me
want
finish,
to-
I have the floor. We're asking him for a public apology to not only the board, but also city council, who the letter wasn't sent to, and then also to Ms. Little, who the letter wasn't addressed to. And you're saying
Yeah.
if he fails to publicly apologize, then the board wants to seek further action. And I think we need to stay focused, Mr. King, on what you indicated. Is this dealing with him not handling this situation well, or is there a violation of the charter here? Because I feel like the board is about to go off on a tangent because he hurt your feelings. And we don't have time for that. We got so much work that we need to be doing. We
And this
addressed
part
this
of-
issue and we need to move on from it. I don't see us digging in on this issue. That's just my part of discussion, but, you know, I follow whatever the board says, but we need to really be focused on what we're doing here.
Well, one thing I have is that no matter how he said it to me, Kim, and I think the legal department should have said something. That's where it should have stopped. Is you can't do that. You open yourself up to lawsuits. That's where I think it should have stopped, but it didn't. Now, because of things that's been going on, and I'm tired of interference, that the statement got to be made. No one's going to interfere with this board. You don't tell the board what to do. We don't care what you think. We're going to make our own decision. And I do, well, it's out in the public now anyway. I was going to address the council about it. Because I'm having a problem with, this board is having a lot of problem with elected official thing, that this board take order directly from them. And they stay in our business too much. I want to stop. We have appointees, we have apartment head thinking that this board is going to float with them. This board is a neutral board. And we're not going, it's not set up to take order for anyone. Whatever our decision is, however we want to do this, it stands, it's law. So,
Okay, so what's the ask? I have a public apology, board, council, Ms. Little.
And to come before the board, and we say, Mr. Key, what else you said?
That's the.
So when you say public, are you asking him to come, or like, what if he sends a letter?
Oh, no, I would like to in-person apology.
So you're asking for in-person to all three entities?
Yes.
Is that what the, we're setting ourselves up for failure, y'all, but whatever.
Why are we saying, why he can't come
It's not
before the board?
realistic.
Him coming before the board is not realistic?
Before the
Let's
board, the
say-
council, and Ms. Little, and personally apologize?
No, just to come before us, let's start there. Even if
I need to
we
know what this letter needs to say.
We tired of you interfering. It's not your position to try to run this board or the ombudsman's office. And we don't care what you think about Miss Little. You need to grade yourself, okay? And look at the administration. And where is this water you came before us lying about that you was going to straighten out? With or without a P card, you claim you can give us some water. Where is it? Say that.
Apples and oranges.
I mean, when we give you apples, you can't, you know.
let's get back, let's get back on the letter. It was a letter.
Everything in there.
It was sent to me. It was sent to, I guess, what I'm saying.
To inform
I didn't get the
you.
letter there. Ms. Boland, because she was CC'd on it. And Mr. Kim I'm understanding now.
For what?
Uh,
Okay, is that our ask?
we're,
The 3 public apologies, that's three in-person public apologies?
That's just, you know, and I'll accept any friendly
I have a
amendments
friendly
to it.
amendment.
That's what I'm saying, I'll accept any friendly amendments to it. That was just me. I just think that he should
Because it don't
just
have to be
personally
3. He can
apologize.
come before this board and apologize to Ms. Little and this board, and that can be 1 visit. Now, Mr. King, with his city council situation, you know, I'll support that, but that's not necessarily my position. My first position is that he come before this board and Ms. Little, and the problem that I have with it is because you're interfering with this office, and that is unethical. I think he's mature enough, and I think he knows that his position does not qualify him to grade Ms. Little's work. And then on top of him grading her work, he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's problematic. You slandering this woman on her job. And if Mr. King was not a stand-up chairman, he could have been influenced. Ms. Little caught hell getting an interview, okay? So we can't necessarily say he's not an influence. We don't know if he went up to HR and shared his thoughts with them or not. Clearly he doesn't have a problem with sticking his nose in stuff that does not concern him. So maybe we need to make that clear that you're definitely in violation of the charter when you try to obstruct the business of this office. Now I can read the whole charter and find it, but we know what happened last time I did that.
So I'll make a friendly
before you
amendment.
do that,
Oh, I'm sorry.
let me say I can understand where everyone is coming from. I guess the only one made it public seemed like it was me.
Right.
What difference does that make?
That's that. I mean, it wasn't, I made it public. I'm the one who made it public. I don't think Ms. Bowler went out and publicized it to everyone, and I don't think Mr. Kim did. I did. So, let's look at it that way. I made it public, I brought it to this board. And I'm sure when they said it, he said it for to be public, but I figured this board should know these things. So I take responsibility for that, and I take responsibility of what this board actually is with the letter. And I don't wanna go out and put someone that I thought was innocent, that I'm finding that not in the works of it. So whatever we do, we're gonna address it. I'm addressing, and I'm addressing either what this board say, and we'll take care of it in a way that don't reflect back on anyone else that don't have anything to do with it.
So I would think at the very least, we need to not ask for the public apology to city council. I just think that that's way overstepping.
Well, can we ask him to come and give an explanation? Would it be fair to have him explain the purpose of his letter?
So shall we invite him to our next board meeting?
Well, that might be, that could be, if the board think that's
Well, he would have to come in order to apologize.
Well, the last time we spoke on him coming, we have to check their calendars and make sure they're free 3 months out.
Well, let's say we're gonna turn over a new way of doing business, start of the year. This is the year. Let's commit ourselves into and hold each other accountable at the start of the first of the year. That this board is gonna start doing the work of the board. I don't want to get everybody upset going into the holiday. We won't discuss this, but coming out in January, we're gonna come out swinging. Okay? Let's look at it that way.
So
It's about 7 o'clock, so you
Yeah.
wanna.
So I'll make the friendly amendment that Mr. Edwards come to our next meeting to apologize to the board and to Ms. Little and to explain his actions for this email. And we can scratch it.
Because I'm trying to document, as you say, come invite to the next meeting to apologize to board and Miss Little, and then what?
And to explain his reasoning behind this email.
And a friendly amendment.
And we eliminate the city council apology completely.
And an amendment to his motion. If I am in order. Is that in order, Mr. Chair? If I'm
Who supported your motion?
I did at first support.
Okay.
I supported. And then I gotta support it. We gotta vote, then I gotta amend it. Okay.
No, that's in discussion. You can,
Oh, cause add, okay. You're right, Mr. Julius, you're right. So can I add on that, and at that time, we inform Mr. Edwards that he gets no more chances to intervene in our business. He needs to be warned that this is your first warning, to stay out of the ombudsman's and the ethics and accountability board's business, or we will be speaking to your supervisor, and I do not, and it will not be privately. This stuff will be open to the public because this is the city's business.
Okay, what's your friendly amendment?
That we let him know that this is his last time interfering, and outside of this, we will be taking further steps.
So he has been warned about interfering prior to now?
No, this is his first warning.
Not for me.
I mean, this is first, just a warning. Stop interfering. That's what I
Okay,
said.
so we can use this as the first warning.
Right.
But when you said it, this the last
That's what I'm
time.
saying.
Right, but last time infers there was a first time.
No, this is your first and last time. The next time we on that tail. We done being nice. If you want me to translate, we done being sweet
No
about it.
translation.
Okay, well then catch up.
Okay, so just so I'm clear,
Welcome.
just so I'm clear, we are asking for Mr. Edwards to appear before the board at the next board meeting and apologize to the board and to Mrs. Little for the inflammatory comments and explain his reasoning or rationale behind the email, because it is basically can be viewed as interference in the ombudsman's and the ethics and accountability board's authority.
At
Does
the next meeting.
the city administrator work for the mayor?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Why don't
directly.
we, instead of him specifically, change it to the mayor's office?
CC.
Well, I say CC the mayor.
Yeah, I say
Only
that too.
because it came from Mr. Edwards,
And that's
and we're
his-
asking
And he
Mr.
should know
Edwards.
what's going on.
Yes, he should.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm getting at is that if we say, Mr. Edwards, do not interfere, we should say instead, the mayor's office should not interfere.
And all his
Yes.
constituents.
It's one and the same. I'm not saying he sent this without Neely knowing about it, Mayor
City
Neely knowing about it, but it's part of the mayor's office.
Or
We-
It's part of the administration. I agree with that. However, I think the message is directed literally to Mr. Edwards.
Yes.
This is better.
So I hear what you're saying, and I hear why you're saying it, but I still think it should go to Mr. Edwards.
That's fine.
But we should be, we have to put the mayor on notice, because ultimately he falls under your umbrella, and if he don't check it, you have a duty to check it.
And
So-
she fall under our umbrella only.
Correct.
She falls under our umbrella only, and they still don't get that.
Right, but if you think about it, he directed his concerns to the chair of this board. That's where he was supposed to direct it.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying, I don't know why y'all take it all off, because he sent his, even though his concerns weren't valid, he sent it to where he should have sent it.
Well, wait, this is my issue.
We
with
taking
that.
off because we tired of them
this
taking
is the
off.
issue. This is the issue. Because when we wanted to confront the administration or some of his people, he let us know that that wasn't appropriate. And anytime we want to address them, we needs to CC him, and it needs to go through him. And this is the protocol. Well, we got a protocol too, sir, and it's for you to follow. It's for everybody. See, that's what he don't understand. See, he think he can hold us accountable to their processes, but they gonna wild style it all over us. No, not partner. We followed your rules. We did what you asked. We CC'd you when we have issues. Now, it's a protocol for you to follow. Jump on it, sir. See, that's my position. All this baby glove handling them. We're all adults.
All right, what's everybody's feeling about whether we direct it to Mr. Edwards or to the mayor?
I say
We can CC the
We can CC the mayor.
because he need to know what his staff is
Yeah, well, we're
doing.
definitely gonna CC him, but
Uh-huh.
the question is, would you rather direct it to the mayor?
No.
I say direct it to Mr. Edwards, CC
Right.
the mayor, and I think we need to put a caption, and this pertains to all city administrators. Let them know it's for everybody, it's for the whole umbrella. So we ain't gotta keep addressing this, cause all this one step.
I'm gonna send a
Yeah,
draft.
you're right.
When, after Mr. King and I do a draft, we'll send a draft, put your feedback in there, and if it's appropriate, we'll adjust it accordingly.
Okay.
Because ombudsman
No,
is
no,
under
but that's already part of it.
under the Ethic and Accountability Board.
Let's,
Nobody hire, fire, or manage the ombudsman office but us. And it's been a big problem from day one. But the other, well, I ain't gonna say no
Well, that might be why she's not here.
more. But she handled her business too.
She did.
we had
A motion
amendment to
in a
the
second.
motion.
I'm sorry.
One thing, well, and I take that, but the letter also, those concerns that old Miss Stapleton said would be part of what in that letter.
Right, correcting that.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, but we had,
It's time to vote.
what did we have? Amendment to the
Yeah, so it's time to vote.
discussion. And it's been propped second, everybody in favor,
Wait, when is our next meeting? Just so I'm clear, because I know this is the last one of the year.
second Tuesday.
Second
Second
Tuesday
Tuesday.
in January.
In January, and we're gonna address, are we meeting back here, or are we back in our spot? Or
Well,
where are we inviting him to come, because I don't know where we're going.
This is so beautiful.
this is the board, this is the board decision. What you all want to
I come here once a month anyway.
You want to, we go back,
Let's
we go back to our,
I say let's come over here. It seems like we have
take him off his
a
turf.
better working function over here. Let's try something new for
It
me.
is more spacious. I'll say.
Let's try something
It's,
new.
it's more spacious, and then also we take him off his turf.
Billy, is there any cost associated with reserving the room?
Mm-mm.
If we have food, it's only $10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree with
Oh, I can do
saying
that.
we
Okay,
meet here.
well, I would be willing to put in $5 just to be free. I'll pay for freedom, okay?
Well, freedom costs you 10.
Well, the rest of y'all gotta kick in. I ain't gonna buy freedom for all of y'all. Especially you, Miss Money Bags. You need to be footing this thing, secretary.
let's vote on the motion.
She doing a good job.
All in favor?
Aye.
She just asked, what's the motion? Shasta, can you read the motion?
I was out of the room, but I think the motion is, I did go to the restroom, I think it is, first of all, to invite Mr. Edwards to come before the board in a letter form to apologize, explain why he initially wrote the letter, and,
To warn him.
and for his first warning.
Yes.
No, first and last.
First and last
That is
one.
not going in the letter, guys.
No,
Well, then don't put first and last, then put last.
you
It's your
should warn him when he
last
get here. Warn him when he get here.
warning. It's your last warning.
Let's do this with the motion, make it simplified. We will do the letter, we'll do the letter, and you all have a chance to come in on it. If we need to insert something in it, we will do that.
Okay.
Because that motion is stretched out so far that I don't think we don't.
Yeah, no, we don't need to add.
So the
all
motion
that.
is basically
I think we have a
to,
general
I need it for
idea
the
of
notes.
what the motion is.
The motion is,
The motion is to do a letter to Mr. Edwards, inviting him to our next board meeting and requesting that he issue an apology to the board and to you as the acting ombudsman, and to explain his reasoning behind the email, and to caution him that this type of activity could be viewed as interference, inappropriate interference in the authority of the ombudsman and ethic and accountability board.
And this is a warning.
I'll email it to you.
And this is a warning. Don't leave that out. This is a
You
warning.
got it?
Well, you can.
Okay,
Everybody-
everybody understand the
Everybody
motion?
in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay, because we say this is a warning. Quit playing these games. This is a warning.
Okay.
So what y'all scared of?
That motion carried, Mr.
Y'all
Chair.
terrible.
I care.
You can say that when he gets
Let's
here.
move to,
The budget.
If it ain't on paper,
our
then you don't
buzz,
stand.
with the budget.
No, I want your support when I warn him.
What,
This takes us his first warning.
Right.
Discussion on the budget is, I have some of the budget information, but the committee, I had stuff from, you're right, from, county finance department that we have, the budget committee have not had a chance to sit down with. But what I have in, what I have in my budget, we're gonna work on the budget. I'm asking for some more information from Ms. Leah, but what it's looking like with this budget, if we look at the cost of what we have for the four positions, that we're thinking, and if we make these jobs desirable for someone, those wages would have to be increased. And that budget is going to end up in wages eating up to $250,000. So we had to look at how much and what we need to add to the budget. We need to do it the first of the year, that we need to ask for increase for our ombudsman budget.
So, Mr. Chair, we're adding a line item for the board into the ombudsman's budget? Is that what we're doing? I just want to make sure I'm understanding. We're not doing a standalone.
We're gonna have our own budgets in there, how we present it, if it's in there with the ombudsman budget. I have no problem, might be the best place to set aside along, I'm not sure. But we have to have our own budget. And also in that budget, we need to look at what it would cost to move the ombudsman off of our site. So these things need to be added, presented to the ombudsman budget, along with.
When does the department start to meet with the finance and the preparation of the budget?
I think I believe in April, May.
April, May?
No, they meet with you before that.
They
because
moved before that in December.
That's why she reached out and gave it.
You mean, what do you mean?
Yeah,
You're
because
supposed to
Well, I
start
mean-
working on it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, we put, well,
The
the
deadline is in
the
June.
mayor's gotta present his budget in February.
Well, we supposed to already be working on ours though, to propose.
Well, that's-
We ain't supposed to wait till he just do, we understand that when he works on his, but we supposed to start looking at our expenses prior to that. So when they ask us,
What's
what do
needed?
we need to operate, we're not starting to work on those things. We have that knelt down and our line items explained.
Well, and that's,
And also, we were told that our budget rolls over from the previous year. Didn't they say that last time? Last time we checked, didn't the money roll over, Ms. Shasta? Wasn't supposed to?
Okay, they said it doesn't roll over, it goes into back into a general fund.
So, okay,
the
now it
money
don't
that's
roll.
not.
so what you don't spend.
What you don't spend.
Go
Okay.
back.
And also, they reached out to me. I'm reaching out to get information for the upcoming preliminary budget for 2000. They said for year 24-25. Please let us
Okay.
know if you have any of the following: new projects for 25, new projects for even 26. Any revenue implications that may occur. A response will be helpful by Wednesday. This is sent on November 17th. I responded back with, good morning. There will be a substantial adjustments requested from the Ombudsman's office, which includes adding additional staff and increased funding for professional services and training. We intend to hire an analyst for the Ombudsperson, one for the Human Relations Commissions, and other support staff. I do not have the exact figures yet, but the EAB is working on the salaries for new personnel. Does this help? And as soon as that information is available, it will be provided.
Okay, so we already supposed to be working on this. We had a committee to get together. I would like to work on that committee.
We had already voted to put.
Oh, you already got one?
Yeah, remember, we already voted, get on the budgetary committee.
I know it, but that was 2 years ago. I didn't
No,
know.
we just did this back in November.
Oh, well, you know,
You
y'all
on
be
that
voting on so
committee
much and
too?
ain't nothing happening, so I don't know. But okay, we need to get on that now.
Let's-
Because if they're asking and we want to include rent as a new item, then they're asking if you have new items, we have to
Yeah.
present these things.
My thing is, if anyone have anything on the budget,
Rent,
I'm gonna be working over the holidays. Putting everyone got input, because we're gonna present something the first of the year. I'm not waiting, on things to come up. We have spent, in the past, we have spent time, we never had anything come up through budget committee. We're not gonna do it this year.
No, who's on that committee?
We're not, Micah, Mr. Julius, is on the committee. We but if people are not gonna meet,
I got it.
And Carol was on the committee.
I can write it down
but
right
if
now.
people, now, here's what we gotta do, people. I'm asking, Ms. Lil is gonna work on the budget for the ombudsman office.
Right,
We're gonna look at that. We are gonna work on the budget for
the board.
this board.
Mr. King, I think you need to be in contact with the finance department,
Oh,
at
we'll do
least
that.
as a heads up to let them know that
Oh, yeah.
you will be presenting, you
Yeah.
know, because I think we need to have ours to the administration before they present their
That's what I
proposed
think.
budget to council.
Yeah.
I think that's what, if you want to be included in the budget, I think that's what's supposed to
And that's
happen.
why I'm saying I wanna get this done the first of the year.
So who are the committee members? They need to know who
We
they
have
are.
Joe King, Micah,
But we gotta-
Julius, and Carol.
Okay.
If you're gonna, look, people,
William, are you
We
on that
got-
committee?
No.
The finance
We-
committee?
No, I had.
we got a meeting to work on the budget. I can't, I'm not,
4 people so far.
I'm gonna stay in town. I don't plan on leaving out this week after this meeting, but I'm gonna be in town on a holiday. Now, if you're gonna work, we're gonna work on it. If not, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it done.
I could do this Saturday. It don't take
Yeah,
that
I'm
much.
gonna get it done.
We could get this done in the next couple of weeks. I'm going out of town for Christmas,
Well,
but by the 2nd or 3rd of January, I can have this
So-
all mapped out, because we've done this.
So that's,
Well, it's up to the committee to get together, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, well, I will be, you'll be getting the,
y'all need to get together. and
Who
do
else you
some-
say was on here? Me, Mr. Julius, Micah be tied up. Mr. Julius, can I get your number so we can get together and talk
You
on?
don't wanna
We can talk on the phone.
Well,
and do
get his
this.
number offline.
Look,
We being recorded
here.
right now. I don't need everybody.
here's what
But
you.
I'm not saying right
No,
now.
Ms. McIntosh,
Well, you got
I
your
will
list,
send out,
your
as I'm
members
doing,
list.
And I got my template from the budget
people,
from last time.
I will set out, have Ms. Miller set out. You can give me the time, you all can give me the time, and I will set up a meeting in
Okay.
place.
All right.
Okay, so,
Okay,
are we clear on the budget?
yes, sir.
Y'all have your permission for those that are here on the committee to give them the budget information that I have in reference
Yes.
to the human resource and the ombudsperson's office.
Yeah, you can do all that, we move it on.
Okay.
Okay, good, fantastic.
You might have to
We're
email
moving
Micah.
to
Great. I'll go forward with the ombudsman.
Micah's on the.
process. How do we want to move? We open,
Julius.
I've had to open up the process.
What's my name?
I asked
I don't forgot.
Patrick Julius.
Patrick.
to open the application process back up. But I left it off for now.
You have this?
You open it back.
You asked for we.
No.
I'm sorry, Mr. King, what you say? I missed.